I think there was a big thing about it in Canada or something like that. And I'll give you a quite scary-ish story. When I was a little girl, I was like 3, I decided to call myself Phillip one day. And the reason for that was because my favourite host on Play School was called Phillip. I absolutely loved him. He was my favourite host. And it's one of my very early childhood memories. I remember waking up one morning and crawling out of my cot or whatever I was in, and Mum said, "Oh, Daisy, how are you?" And I said, "My name's not Daisy. It's Phillip." And Mum and Dad just looked at me and went, "Okay, Phillip, would you like to have some breakfast now?" And for a year, I called myself Phillip because I loved this host on Play School. Like, there's this childhood story of Dad took me to the video shop, and I was in my, I was very little, plonked me on the counter in my dressing gown and pajamas, back when there were video shops. And the girl at the counter said,
Gone.
yeah, long gone, I know. And the girl at the counter said, "Oh, you're a very pretty little girl. What's your name?" And I said, "Phil." And she said, "Oh, is that short for Philippa?" And I went, "Nope, Phillip." And she went, "Okay, that's cool." But then about a year later, I met Phillip, and I didn't call myself Phillip anymore. I thought, okay, I've met him, and he loved it. He called himself Daisy for a day, because he was a very sweet man. And but I've met him, and I went, okay, that's enough. I've met him. I've satisfied my thing. I am back to being called Daisy. Nowadays, if I had gone to preschool and said, "My name's not Daisy, it's Phillip," can you imagine what would happen? You'd have the teachers ringing my parents going, "Look, I think maybe your daughter might not be a daughter. She's calling herself Phillip." I was also a bit of a tomboy as a small child as well. Like when I was 6, all my friends had fairy parties. I hated that, so I had a pirate party, for instance. Because it was just,
And now look at you.
Now look at me. I'm the most feminine woman.
Yeah. If you're only listening to this, Daisy's wearing like a big florally, very effeminate dress.
Very feminine dress with flowers in my hair and 2 petticoats and heels, and red lipstick. But yeah, nowadays there'd be this, like, probably, like, my parents would be called into the principal's office and say, "Maybe your child has gender dysphoria. Have you considered puberty blockers?" That's a dangerous thing, because now, like, do I look like I wanted to become a man? No, of course not.
You're embracing your femininity now.
Yeah, I'm using it as a brand, and I'm doing it because people like Clementine hate it. They hate it.
It's worked out.
It's worked
Everything's
out really
worked out.
well. I know. Yes, I know. The more they bitch about me, the girlier I become, basically.
But it's funny you were talking about like the kid thing where you were saying you were Phillip all of a sudden. It's like, well, at the same time, kids also say that they have imaginary friends.
Yeah.
Do we take that into consideration and say, no, these imaginary friends do exist?
Yep.
This kid knows most.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true.
So it's like, well,
like,
why do we treat that as just, that's just a kid thing that we just leave and we let them grow out of it?
Yeah.
But then we have a kid going, "I want to be a boy," which most kids do. I hear about this a lot, actually, like from a lot of people, because obviously talking about this stuff is, my forte, or what I love talking about. And so whenever I talk to people about it, they always say, "Well, when I was a kid, I used to want to be a boy and used to do this stuff."
I used to
and
do
it's
boy
like,
things.
because I had older brothers, or I liked doing soccer, or I liked
Yeah.
doing this. And it's like, well, that's fair. My brother played with My Little Ponies.
Yeah. My cousin, there's a photo of him wearing a tutu when he's a kid because he felt like wearing a tutu and holding a fairy wand.
But there's like this innocence back in my day. Back in my day.
Back when we were
They
young.
don't do it like they used to.
Back in the old days.
But it's like they didn't sexualize it at all.
I know.
It was just kids doing stupid shit.
Yes, because they're kids and they're like playing
Yes.
games. Yeah, I know.
But now kids know best.
Now kids know best.